Alright guys, Forsaken dropped some crazy sneak peeks and leaks. We've got an update post from Hytoko, drama around skins, and even Guest 666's brand new remodel. Anyways, let's get right into it. So, we've got a really big announcement straight from the owner, Hytoko, and he dropped an update post going over what's happening behind the scenes. There's a lot of good news in here, especially for people waiting on Chapter 2, so let's break it down. First off, the big update is still in the works. That's the highly anticipated Chapter 2 update, which is going to add a ton of content across the board. But recently, we haven't been getting many teasers for it, and Hytoko explained why. The main reason is milestones. The developers want to make sure that when new characters drop, they come with their full milestone skins right away. That includes Guest 666 and Veronica, who are both being worked on right now. Honestly, this is such a great direction for the game. Players have been asking for this for a long time. Nobody wants to wait 5 months for a character to finally get their milestones, like we saw with Taf. By launching characters with milestones immediately, there's way more incentive to play them from the start, and it keeps the game feeling fresh. On top of that, they also want to go back and finish milestone content for older characters. That means placeholder milestones are finally being replaced, so characters like Bilderman, 1X, and John Doe will be getting their proper milestone skins instead of unfinished versions. And of course, Noli will be receiving his milestone skins too, which fans have been waiting on for ages. It's awesome to see the devs putting this level of focus into milestones. It shows they're not just pushing new content, but also improving what's already in the game. They even dropped a teaser for one of Veronica's milestone skins, and it looks really cool, so that's something to look forward to. Now, beyond the milestone news, Hytoko confirmed that there's going to be one more update before Chapter 2. He calls it a small update, but from the way he described it, it sounds more like a medium-sized update, maybe around the scale of the Slasher update. He didn't go into too much detail, but he did say it'll help both new and returning players find new activities in Forsaken. One interesting part is that he mentioned a new activity coming to the lobby. He couldn't say much, but this could be some sort of lobby minigame. Personally, I think that would be great, because if you die early in a round, all you can do right now is sit there spectating for several minutes. Having something fun to do in the downtime would make the experience way better. And finally, we've got changes coming to hitboxes. The new hitboxes were introduced in the Slasher update, and while they've generally worked well, there have still been complaints where certain hits just don't feel fair. Hytoko admitted they've noticed this too, and the team has been actively testing improvements. They can't promise to make hitboxes 100% perfect, since Roblox itself has limitations, but they're doing their best to refine them. The next wave of improvements should arrive in the medium update before Chapter 2, which should help combat those frustrating "that shouldn't have hit me" moments. Overall, this update post might not be the longest, but it's packed with great news. The devs are clearly listening to the community, especially when it comes to milestone skins. They're making sure new characters release with all their content ready to go. They're cleaning up the older unfinished stuff, and they're even adding lobby activities to make the game more enjoyable in between rounds. Add on the hitbox fixes, and it feels like Forsaken is headed in a really good direction. Next up, we've got some drama and news about the upcoming JX1 skin. So recently, Aprex, one of the composers for Forsaken, was fired, and this decision has sparked a lot of backlash in the community. If you don't know Aprex, he was behind some of the most iconic tracks in the game, including the Killer Vanity theme, Cupcake Cool Kid, and the original JX1 Chase theme. With JX1 still being an unreleased skin, players were hyped to see how his music would carry over in-game. But with Aprex gone, people are now worried that JX1's final chase theme won't live up to expectations. The frustration mainly comes from the fact that Forsaken already has a pretty big roster of composers, yet one of the most talented and consistent ones ended up being cut. Fans see this as a major loss, especially since Aprex's style had already set the tone for JX1 before the skin even dropped. But there is at least some reassurance. Rokimaru, one of the people working directly on JX1, responded to the drama. He said, "As one of the biggest glazers for Aprex's JX1 theme, I can confirm you guys are in good hands. It doesn't erase the disappointment, but it does suggest that the team is taking this seriously and plans to give JX1 a worthy chase theme when he finally arrives." Next up, we've got some really crazy drama around the Kevin Jason skin. The Kevin skin in Forsaken was originally a fun addition, inspired by Nine Wolf's old viral video, "Don't Touch My Pizza." Kevin quickly became a recognizable skin, but recently some controversy has surrounded the creator himself. It started when a thread appeared on Twitter pointing to a private alt account linked to Nine Wolf, where some questionable activity was found. On that account, there were retweets and interactions with content considered feral as well as fetish material. Screenshots showed someone directly confronting Ninewolf through messages, telling him that this type of engagement was inappropriate. His response was that he had been high at the time and wasn't paying attention to what he was reposting. Not long after, the account was deleted, but many had already connected the dots. The account, later confirmed to be his under the name Lycan Lasher, featured the same art style and similar posts found on his main platforms, making the link difficult to deny. Then Shurag helped gather information and passed it on to the Forsaken developers. Following this, the Kevin skin was removed during the Slasher update, and it doesn't look like it will be returning anytime soon. The decision appears to have been made to distance the game from any association with potentially problematic content, especially given how sensitive the subject matter was. Ninewolf did address the situation publicly. In a community post, he claimed that much of the backlash was fueled by false rumors and exaggeration, not truth. He explained that his focus has always been on art and positivity, and despite the criticism, he wanted to continue responding with love. The community reaction has been split. Some players argued that his interactions were concerning and justified action from the developers. Others felt that the drama was blown out of proportion and dismissed it as nothing more than online noise. For now, Kevin is gone, and the debate over whether his removal was necessary continues. Lastly, we got a brand new look at the upcoming Guest 666 remodel, and honestly, it's one of the most exciting reveals we've seen in a while. Cacklebox shared a tweet showing off the redesign, and the changes already look incredible. Guest 666 has always been one of the most iconic figures in Forsaken's lore, and this remodel really pushes his design to feel even more menacing and brutal. Starting with his face, it's been completely reworked to look far more deranged and unsettling. The crazed expression gives him a much scarier vibe compared to his older look. His classic Roblox hat has also been updated, this time taking on a more old-school pixelated appearance, which ties perfectly into the nostalgia of his myth while still looking fresh. His horns have been made even larger and sharper, giving him a more demonic silhouette that makes him stand out in a crowd of killers. His legs also saw a huge shift. Instead of looking robotic and metallic like before, they've been redesigned to look more animalistic, almost beast-like, which makes his whole figure feel less artificial and more monstrous. Combined with his spiked arm structures and glowing red energy, Guest 666 looks like he's been pulled straight out of a nightmare. We even got to see some renders of Guest 666 eating Noob, and the contrast is perfect. Guest 666 towering with his chaotic, demonic presence next to the simplicity of Noob. It's safe to say, this remodel has fans hyped, and Guest 666's return is shaping up to be unforgettable. And that's everything for now, guys. Some huge updates, some drama, and an insane remodel for Guest 666. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll catch you in the next one.